Brojob, Deathcore is Dead is the brand new record by this deathcore comedic band that dabble a lot into stuff that is rude and supposed to get a chuckle out of you. Pretty much the cock is funny humour, which some bands have dabbled in, which it can make it work, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. I think this is the first album with a brand new vocalist, because the original vocalist Jacob was kicked out of the band by the entire band for supporting a sexual assault, which I don't know much about, because I think a lot of it is like allegation stuff. But from what I've seen and what I've heard is that someone from another band, a vocalist, had been abusing their girlfriend, and he said, well, where's the evidence and all that stuff, because people have been trying to call him out for it, and because he's looked like he's supporting it, they took the overall extreme approach and didn't even look into the case and just kicked him out, which caused a vocalist change for this band. But let's just go right in. If you haven't heard of Brojob, you're in for a treat, because we got 10 tracks, and I'm just going to read the track list and give you my overall opinion, because to me this band isn't really anything special. I think when it comes to comedic and deathcore it can work, but this doesn't really do it in such an enjoyable way. I think the band has managed to make some gems before. They've done some interesting stuff, but yeah, I just don't really find this to be as interesting as it could be. You start with the slower track RES-ERECTION. This one's short, ironically. Then the track, it's not that great, but I think it kind of gets the gist of what you'd expect, and I feel like once you've heard this and maybe the second track, you kind of got the gist of the formula, what Brojob do. Size King, yeah, I think you can kind of gather what this song's about. Let's just say that a lot of these songs mention cock, penis, pussy, cum, a lot of stuff that most bands probably wouldn't really dare to unless they are built on being a comedic band. And yeah, Size King do that perfectly. Hot Pocket Handjob is the next title. Fun one that is. Cock Snatcher. Slobber to Prevail. See, I when I saw the track listing, I knew this one would be a reference to Slaughter to Prevail, being one of the new uprising big bands in the deathcore scene after exploding through TikTok. Yeah, so cool fun back to cool back to them. GIRTH Brooks. The track that stood out to me the most, because it's more of like an interlude that goes on for almost 2 minutes, is "Open up a savings account in your ass so I can deposit my ... It's interesting that you kind of have this little thing here. It kind of feels like the album is trying to put a little bit more of that seriousness in by having this little interlude, but then it's just got such a stupid title that you kind of forget why it's there, and I don't know why they really had to put it there. They could have just named it something else, a little more serious, but yeah, why not? Bussy Smasher. Dear God, what is this band doing? Ass Cheek Echolocation's probably my favourite title. I feel like when it comes to the stupidity of the humour, which comes off as quite childish for bands when they talk about penises all the time, this is probably one of the more funny titles. And then probably the worst one is Cum Eater. It just feels like half of the ideas was just, hey, let's say something stupid, and Ass Cheek Echolocation isn't too bad in comparison to Bussy Smasher, Cock Snatcher, and Cum Eater. Like, I'm not even joking. I literally feel like even Size King and Hot Pocket Handjob and even Slobber to Prevail are a bit more creative than Bussy Smasher and Cum Eater. But I don't know why I'm even looking at creativity when that's the whole album. Every lyric references sex, or something sexual, and that's pretty much the theme and gimmick of the band, which, if you like the gimmick and you like this, you'll enjoy it. And while I have kind of enjoyed Brojob in the past, I think the new vocalist doesn't really sell me in as much as Jacob did, because I find him to be one of the most generic voices in metalcore. The growls, the screams feel so predictable and so bland, but the only difference is instead of screaming about edgy stuff, they're screaming about penises, which makes it not as something that you can't really take as seriously, and it kind of takes a little bit of that more, like, you can tell they kind of got a lot of passion away. Even the instrumentals kind of feel a bit barren and a bit more just there. I don't feel like there's really too much drive when it comes to Brojob, to be honest. I don't think this is a band that's pushing the envelope for some of the most intricate, most intriguing ideas in deathcore, and I kind of think Kickin' Jacob was kind of the final nail in the coffin, because at least with him I felt like there was some interesting vocals, and he was pretty good. But I don't know the new person, I don't really know much about this band other than some of the songs before, and I will say I just think this is a big downgrade, and one I just don't really find interesting. If deathcore is dead is unfortunate, because I wouldn't say it's a dead genre, I just think this is just, why? Like, you have so many bands that dabble in comedy. You have Electric Callboy, but when they mention sex, it's always in such a silly metaphor, and it's not really often. They just take something to exaggerate it. Steel Panther, a power metal band that plays with a lot of stuff, they literally have a song called Friends with Benefits, yet it's a lot more humorous because the way it builds up, the way it kind of gives you a story, it kind of dives you deeper into the silly fun of it. This just is just cock, penis, but growled, and it's not even in instrumentals that carry the album to be something interesting. It's not. It is a shame, because I think Brojob have got some good ideas here and there on this record. I do think RES-ERECTION had a decent start, but I just didn't really find the album to continue it. SLOBBER to Prevail probably my favourite, just because it's Slaughter to Prevail, but I didn't really find much of the material that intriguing to me. I'm going to have to give this one a 2 out of 5. I hope you'll enjoy, thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.